Hello, in the last video we created this database file and in this script we have implemented it as a context manager. So it means that you will use with statement for it, and using a with statement we get into the enter which will set up the connection, and then we can do several queries inside of the with statement. We can continue here, query 2, query 3, etc. And then we have when we exit the with statement, the code in the under exit will run, which will do the cleanup. So it's doing the closing of the connection. Yes. So right now I want to create another file like this here. I want to remove. I want to store it into constants. So constants.py. And here, I'll put this here instead. And inside of constants.py, we will create, so basically this file should have constants which are, for example, the paths. So we have paths to the data, we have paths to the database. And we could have several other constants as well. So several modules can reach this module. That is the idea. So from pathlib import path, we'll do, instead of db path like this, we'll do database path. So constant, I will denote it with capital letters. And then I will also have a data path equals to path. So basically under file still, and then dot parent, we're inside of the data, right? Inside of the data folder. And here I don't want it to be called testdb. I want to call it Göteborg stad.db, and because we will ingest the data from Göteborg stad, these leverantörsfakturor, right? So then here, instead of from path, we'll do it from constants import database path, right? And then this is database path instead, database path, like this. However, I can try to run this and see if it works. Yeah, it works. It's the same. We have now created göteborgstad.db. I'll throw away test.db. It's not needed anymore. Okay. So now we have this database. Let's do some ingestion now. So I will create another file. Ingest data to database.py like this. And here from constants import, I need both paths. I need data path and database path. So from database, import database. So here I will create a database soon. So the idea is that I will set up a schema first. Schema, and the schema I will set up, I will use with database, and I will do database path as db, because it required a path, right? So I will do database path, which will go into Göteborg stad. And here I will do db.query. So what type of query do I want? Well, I want to do create schema. So I will set up a schema. Create schema if not exists. And I will call it, so leverantör means supplier. So supplier invoice. So we call supplier invoice. That is my schema. So then if it exists, it won't do anything. So this this statement is idempotent. So it means that it becomes the same no matter how many times you run it. So let's continue here. And do ingest data. So that ingest data. So in order to ingest data, we will need to go into the data folder, right? So I will try to do that for CSV. If we start with this print data path, what will happen? If I will do also if done the name. If done the name equals to done the main, we will run ingest data. So I'll run this one. I'll clean the terminal and run it. And we can see that we have, this is the path. We go into Python connect duckdb/data. So we're in this one. And here we can do like this. I can do .glob. And when I do glob, I can find all the files which has this pattern. So .csv. So it means that all the files which starts with lev and the star, which are which is a wildcard that will match all other characters, and ends with .csv. All those that matches this pattern will be found. And when I run this, what will I get? Well, I will get some generator object. Okay, a generator object, we need to loop, we will loop through it in order to get the data. So let's loop through it and see. So let's loop through it. For CSV path in this path, I will print CSV path and see what happens. Ah, perfect, it found it. So you see that it found both of them, both the CSV files. Great, and we see if we can find out, I want to find out just the last, I want to have only the numbers. So can I do that? Yes, let's do it like this. CSV path.name. What will I get? Well, I get only the names. That's great. That's great. So then let's do some string formatting, add string methods. So let's do like this. Dot split. I will split on the dot. What will happen then? Well, I get it into lists, right? So I get level and text vector and I get CSV. So from this one, I can pick out the 0th element. So then I don't get the CSV, right? I only get this. And if we count now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it matches this pattern. So I can just do like this, from -6 and colon. So then I will get only the date. Cool, cool. And I will call this the invoice name, basically. So then I will do like this. So invoice name equals, I will actually do an F string here. I will call it invoice underscore, and I will put in this variable. So then I can print out invoice name and you'll see how it looks like. So if I print this out, let's see, dot. Did it work before? Yeah, because we cannot have quotes and quotes because they don't know when it stops. So we need to change the quotes to single quotes like this. And we get this invoice and the dates. Okay, so let's create tables and put them into the schema and then also read the CSV files. Because now we have the paths to the CSV, right? So let's continue here. We can, now we open up a context manager. So with database, database path as db, and then we do db.query, and we'll do an f string, and I will do a multi-line f string, like this. And I will type out, let's see, like this, create table if not exists. So what do I want to create? Well, I want to create this, let's see, supplier invoice. So this is the schema which I will create later on. I will do setup schema and then I'll do just data. Supplier invoice, and then I will do dot this invoice name. Invoice name, like this. So it means that we get the invoice name, which is invoice 2024-08 and 2024-07, and I go in. So I go into the schema and I go into the table. So the invoice name becomes the table name, right? So I create this, and I'll do like this. In order for us to read in the CSV file, remember that in SQL, in duckdb, we used read CSV auto. And we can do that as well here, because this is basically, we're using duckdb. So as select star from, so what do I want to select from? As, let's see, as select star, you can do from, let's make it a little bit nicer. Okay. Yes, this should do. And do some formatting from read CSV auto, and I will put in here. Remember that we're in a multi-line F string, so I can put in a variable here. CSV path, right? We have the CSV path, so we get these two. We will get these two. And afterwards, I'll do a semicolon. And I can't run this right now. I need to run the setup schema as well. Okay, I'll run. Oh, there was some error here. Okay, what is the error? Let's see. Set the sample size. No. And note that we get the error is because we did pass the exception along in the with statement in the context manager, right? So we get this. However, they say like this. We have types equals, so you should override the type for this column manually, right? So, okay, here, column organisationsnummer is being converted as type big int. However, this type was auto-detected from the CSV file, but there are some issues that they cannot convert from, that they cannot make into big int. So in order to make it work, we need to put in varchar. And if you look into the data, there's some fields that's called missing or saknas in Swedish. So that's why. So then we should put in this. So we should put this in. So inside of, or I'll copy this, and I will go into. I'll copy this. And I will go into the read CSV auto, and here I'll put this in. You can see, like this. Organisationsnummer varchar. Okay, let's see. It's actually, it needs to be these. I'm seeing not very well here. Maybe the text is too small, but there's curly braces. And actually we have an error because we have an F string, so we need to have like two curly braces, because one curly brace represents the F string for variables, one that is the dictionary itself, right? So now it works, great. And how do I know that it works? Well, we can query and check. So let's do like this. We could manually go in. We can do duckdb göteborgstad.db, and we can do desk, and we see like, oh great, we have two Göteborgstad here, schema, supplier invoice, and we have these two tables. Okay, can I do like this? Select star from supplier invoice dot invoice 2024-08, like this. Oh, it worked. Perfect. And we see we got the data. That's super good. So we managed to ingest the data from the CSV files into the database. Yes, I will stop here and see you in the next video where we'll play around with this more.